little recapitulation. You don't have to prove total disability. Doctors need to provide information, not pass judgment on the merits of a claim, as each of the various benefit plans has different criteria. You don't have to prove causation. Doesn't matter how you got sick or why, like you would in an accident or a comp case. You can tie all your impairments together from whatever condition, okay? If you don't meet a listing, you need a functional capacity assessment. A lot of time we use specialists in physical medicine to do them because that's what they do. And they make it easy for the doctor who can't do it to say, go to someone who knows how to do it and make that referral. Now, I said before, a lot of doctors will say, I can't support your disability claim. You could do a desk job. Well, is the doctor right? No, and that's where the doctor really shouldn't become a lawyer, because some people who can do desk jobs are still considered disabling under something we call the medical vocational guidelines. We lawyers call it the grid, but that scares the hell out of clients, so we'll just call it the medical vocation. They think the grid, you're going to get electrocuted, you know? We're not going to do that, okay? Let's say this is just one example of somebody who could do sedentary work. Sedentary work is work where you primarily sit for about 6 hours out of an 8-hour day. And let's say you have no transferable skills, which is a whole nother area I'm not going to get into, but it's something we litigate, the issue of whether your skills are transferable. Let's say they agree that you don't have transferable skills, okay? You were a bricklayer, and now all you could do is desk work. Well, they say there are sedentary occupations in the skilled, semi-skilled, professional, administrative, technical, clerical, and bench work classifications. 200 separate unskilled sedentary occupations can be identified, okay? So they say there's 200 unskilled jobs you do sitting down at a bench or a desk, okay? 85% of them are machine trades and bench work, and they say that you can learn them on the job. And what they're basically saying, if this is so, that if you can sit and work at a desk or a bench, you're going to be found not disabled because there's other work you could do, whether or not there's job openings. Now, they say the unskilled jobs are standard. It's a restricted range of work, but there's plenty of it, okay? Now, if you're skilled, vocational adjustment is easier than if you're unskilled, okay? Let's say inability to engage in substantial gainful activity is indicated where an individual who is restricted to sedentary work lacks special skills or experience relevant to sedentary work, educational qualifications, limited education or less, and they define various levels of education. And their age, though not necessarily advanced, is a factor. Remember before I said age, education, and work experience are also critical if you don't meet a listing? Okay? They have regulations which deal with that. Basically, if you're under 50, they don't consider age to be a negative impact on your ability to adjust to other work, okay? If you're under 50 and don't speak English, they'll say, they give you to age 45, okay? Now this really irks me because when I was 50, I realized that I was a person closely approaching advanced age. If you're closely approaching advanced age 50 to 54, isn't that just sticking you? Yeah. We will consider that your age, along with a severe impairment and limited work experience, may affect your ability to adjust to other work. So now, what does that mean for you? That if you're 50 or over, you're getting a break in how these cases are adjudicated. They're not going to hold you to the standard that they're going to hold a younger worker to. And what's the psychology behind that? First of all, you don't want to encourage a younger worker to be on the disability roll, so you're going to make it a little tougher. But at age 50, they know it's tougher for you, and they're just being realistic. And what happens when you become 55? When I became age 55, I became a person of advanced age. You know, I still didn't get the senior citizens discount, though. That really bothered me. Anyway, advanced age is age 55 or older, and at that age, they say it significantly affects your ability to adjust to other work. So, a person age 55, it's even easier to prove disability than a person between ages 50 and 54. So when the doctor says, well, you could do a desk job, what about your age, education, and work experience? is it really feasible? And that's what the adjudicatory process and a lot of litigation is all about. Okay? And that's where I fight with the doctors. I said, you said they could do a desk job. Did you know that the medical vocational guidelines say that if they can do a desk job, they're disabled? And so these are all the regulations, part of regulations that deal with that. To find transferability of skill to skilled sedentary work for individuals of advanced age, very little, if any, vocational adjustment in terms of tools, work processes, work settings, or the industry. So just bear in mind, you don't have to read through all that, I'm going to zip right through it, that there are these factors that are non-medical factors that play a big critical role in disability determinations. Okay, this is more of them. Talks about younger individuals. Okay, I just want to give you an example of how this grid thing works. This is sedentary work. They have grids for medium work, light work, but there are rules that if you are advanced age, limited or less education, unskilled work background, and you can do a desk job, you're still found disabled. Okay? If you're advanced age, skilled or semi-skilled work, but the skills are not transferable, and that's something we would litigate, okay, you're disabled. However, if you're skilled or semi-skilled and your skills are transferable, you're not disabled. And what do we do at hearings? Big fight with vocational experts between not transferable and transferable. That's where the lawyering comes in at that thing, okay? And if you look, there are pages and pages of every permutation you can imagine having nothing to do with the medical. The medical, all the doctors could agree, you have the functional capacity for sedentary work. What's going to be determinative is skill level, education level, and things of that nature. Okay? Now, what about medical evidence? If you go to disability with a report that says Mr. Jones has scleroderma and is disabled and can't work, you're going to get nowhere. Okay, what do you need? What do you need to show? What kind of doctors can support your claim? Treating doctor's evidence is entitled to most weight. It doesn't always get it because it doesn't always meet all the criteria. But what's important? How long have you seen that doctor? Does that doctor have a longitudinal record of treating you? Does he know you inside and out? Does he know your situation? They use the words longitudinal picture, okay? Nature and extent of the treatment relationship. The more knowledgeable a treating source is about your impairments, the more weight it gets. So if you see a rheumatologist about scleroderma, that's worth a lot, that's worth its weight in gold, okay? Supportability. Relevant evidence to support an opinion. What does that mean? You know when the doctor sends you for the blood test and examines you and does all that stuff, what is the doctor doing? They're getting medical signs and laboratory findings and clinical evaluations. The doctor is a scientist and he's using the scientific method to reach certain conclusions. And the more you see the doctor and the more consistent that evidence is, okay, the better your claim is going to be. So people who don't go to doctors generally lose their cases. So when I say the doctor is very important in this process, I really mean it. And finally, specialization is important. The doctor's a specialist. Dr. Spear is a rheumatologist. He's a specialist in rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, scleroderma, and related type diseases, okay? They don't give a lot of weight to, say, like chiropractors, believe it or not.